Well, it's time for another doodle. My desk is a little bit messy today. I've got sketchbooks, got a video player. This is a video player, an old-fashioned cassette tapes here, but also cardboard boxes, which, as you know, if you've watched this channel before, are some of my favourite things to doodle in. I do like the toned, because it's brown inside. I like the toned cardboard. This is one which I usually use. This is the one which I'm going to be using today. So yeah, let's get started on this one. I mean, a lot of the doodles that I do are either swirly or spirally, or they have some kind of, pattern like movement to them. And today what I'd like to do is do something a little bit more angular, because I like to play around a lot with shapes and shape design. Sometimes I do characters or memory kind of sequences. I think I did 13 days of drawing from memory. It's a 15-minute drawing. I've tried paint. I've done a geometric doodle before, but that was a little bit different to how I'm going to do it today. Now this one is just going to be with two different thicknesses of nibs. It's a 0.1 and a 1.0. So these are going to be what I draw with today. And I like the difference between the thickness of nibs for these two, because it's just enough for you to see the line weight. It's not really heavy. It's not a really massive difference, but it's enough. And that's what I think adds a lot of character to the doodle. There's going to be no hesitation though. I'm just going to go straight in and start the drawing and just push for something which is a little bit more, I don't know, I suppose kind of like a space in itself. Now, because I'm going to be using these two pens, I'm actually going to be going from the thin nib to the thick nib for the second half of the doodle. So the first half is going to be with the lighter lines, and the second half I'm going to be making some weight on some of those lines and doing it a little bit heavier edges on certain parts of the drawing. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I do quite enjoy seeing it come to life and popping out when I do that. So that's how this drawing is going to end up. Now, it's something which I practice quite often on this cardboard, is to try and create a space. And if you're not aware, the actual surface of artwork when it's a 2D piece is called the picture plane. And the picture plane is something which you can create depth in, you can have layers, you can break boundaries and show how there's a frame within that surface, and then do things outside of the surface or bursting out of the surface. Or you can do hidden messages inside of the actual frame itself. There's lots of things you can try to do. Now what I'm doing with this drawing, as much as it's a doodle and it's just very simple line work, I'm also trying to play with that idea similar to MC Escher's kind of impossible architecture, where things, stairways go to a place which is all of a sudden it doesn't follow into a corridor that makes logical sense. It's something which is trying to play with your perceptions of perspectives, basically. So the way that you perceive angles to recede into the distance can be tampered with depending on how you use those lines cleverly. And I've subtly done that with this doodle. I don't know if you can see what I can see, but to me it looks like spaces that you can walk into, but if you actually follow that logic, it just disappears into another face or a plane of this structure. I quite like it. I think it's got a lot of charm to it. It's kind of almost I don't know, again, like a sci-fi space. So I always see these things as having a sci-fi edge to them, and that's what I quite enjoy, is developing something which looks like a space which I could imagine characters running around in. And I might even try to put this on the computer and add a bit of colour, because there are several doodles that I think would be enhanced with a bit of digital finish to it, you know, because I do like doing that with certain doodles. These ones I haven't been doing it recently, but it's something which I'm considering. But for this one, I'm specifically trying to see how far I can get with this idea. And it's not perfect, there's no use of a ruler, and I don't think that doing that type of thing would necessarily enhance it. I like to try and do as clean straight lines as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it's never going to be, but it's certainly trying to be something which is believable as a straight edge, or as something which is an angle that joins to something else. And it's fun. I mean, part of me wanted to upload this video in real time because it took me, I think, 20 or so minutes, just over 20 minutes to draw. So I thought I could just upload me drawing it, but I thought it'd be nicer to show you a bit of a background to the different doodles that I do on this cardboard. And now it's not everything that I've done, but it's just a handful that I've been able to find of different drawings I've done on this specific surface over and over again. And it's something which I will continue to do because it's something which I really enjoy, and I think it's a nice, interesting surface. Now, I do have lots of different types of cardboard, so it won't be the only surface that I work on. I have some which I've even been saving because I think it's such a nice shape that I'm going to do a specific push, an effort to make a doodle really special on this, you know, different cardboard boxes that I have saved, waiting for me to make a video specifically about it. And other things which are just ideas that I've been putting on hold until I have the opportunity to put it all together and spend the time to make this video happen. But for this drawing, it was just a quick little relaxation technique which I do, where I don't hesitate at all. I just push the lines around, try to connect them where I can, and use this second nib, as I said, to add a little bit of depth and character to what's otherwise a little bit flat. It's still quite flat, it's just a line drawing, but I think it's got quite a lot of nice angles and ideas in there to try and make it a bit more engaging to see. But that's it done. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.